Day 4 in Ireland. I have no clue what day of the cut it is, but the biggest problem about being in Europe is that if you're used to North American power outlets, they got these funny shape suckers that our North American cords don't go into. Now, I was smart enough to get the adapter for it, so I wasn't screwed when I first got here, but I was also stupid enough to leave the adapter in the first hotel room, so I didn't have a CPAP last night. Which means that today is going to be another one of those days where shit doesn't feel very good, but we're just going to have to do the best that we can with it and see what the best we can do with it ends up being. And for that, I think we're going to try out this green ELITEFTS angled press bar thingy-mabobber. And the funny thing about this bar is that I actually have one of these back home, and I've never really pressed with it. I was asking the guys here, like, what's good on this bar? They're all like, we've never really pressed with it, so I guess we're going to find out what is not very good on this bar today, because I'm not expecting too much with this. The fat pad on this bench is going to be a nice touch, though. First impressions is that I might have to use this thing more often when we get back home. Say the reason that I've never really pressed with this bar, even though I own one, is I've got the ELITEFTS American Camber bar, I've got the ELITEFTS like Swiss bar, I've got the ELITEFTS neutral bar, I've got the ELITEFTS like neutral cambered bar. So like if I want a weird grip bench bar, like I've always just ran one of those for the various range of motions that I want because they feel so good. So I don't know, I just haven't really had a reason to run this guy yet, but today, weird place, weird bar, it's gonna work okay. And it is kind of weird unracking at this angle because I am used to being like more neutral, but the thing about this angle is that it's way easier to create torque into the bar, so I'm having a much nicer time with getting tighter. Plan for today is the usual, just work up to something that doesn't feel like I'm gonna die and see where that ends up being. This will probably be the set where we find out if it ends up being something decent or not. You must think I'm really weak right now after hanging out for this.
I don't know what
It actually feels pretty good. Like, I'm okay with this. And with the kilo plates that look like pound plates, I have no freaking clue what this is going to be, but we're going to slap a 10 aside on the sucker. Assuming the bar is close to 20, that means we got 20, we got 60, we got 100, and I guess 10 aside means we got 120. Maybe all these guys are right and kilo math is in fact easier. And the hope here is that I don't regret making fun of Keelan for trying to spot me for the last one. So like, bar definitely feels a little bit weird groove-wise, but extremely shocked with how okay I actually feel underneath it. Because like, it doesn't feel light in my hands, but it also doesn't feel like it's that egregiously heavy. Yeah, definitely not a single. It's gonna be a single if I really fuck up, but hopefully I don't fuck up. Not gonna complain about feeling decent given the circumstances though, but still taking very conservative jumps. And I'm gonna get Evan to spot me for this one though, just because I have too much shame for Keelan to actually see how weak I am right now. Shouldn't have said his name because now he's watching, shit. He's too busy updating the record board to pay attention, so hopefully I'm done the set before he's done that. Balancing this thing's like the hardest part. I think my hands might have been a little bit off, or maybe that's just my excuse. Like,
It is hard, even the mark.
yeah, the mark's in a weird spot because I put my finger, like, I guess I don't know what finger to put on it, but yeah, I'm just kind of guesstimating the middle, then like when I unwrapped it, it felt fucked, but I think 140?
I don't know what weight this bar is though. I feel like
Pretending 20, we're pretending 20. We'll go 140 for hopefully 3. It's not bad. Like, it's a little weird for sure, and it's definitely like exposing triceps to the mid, which is probably what I need, so I'm okay with
it
it.
looks similar to like your dumbbell bench.
But it's like a dumbbell bench, it's like I can like move it in to make it less tricepy, whereas this is just like fuck my triceps. Maybe I need to use it a little bit more often. Yeah, so if I get, I think like 3 will be decent. We'll see. And what I want you guys to really pay attention to here on this set is not how sadly weak I am right now, but how I'm getting set with the weird bar is I'm still prioritizing the same stuff. So even though the grip is different, even though like I'm not used to a fat pad, what I'm really trying to do is like push myself up onto my traps, where to get a little bit of tension, pulling the bar into the J-hooks as I straighten the bar out so it's not crooked, kicking the legs back to where I want them. Once the legs are set, I apply more pressure with the legs, more pressure with the lats to lock it in, a little bit of upwards pressure to get the serratus, and then it's just flex triceps, get her clear the hooks, pull out with lats, finish nice and solid where I want the bar to be, and then just spreading her into the bottom end, and it doesn't feel all that bad. Surprised myself getting 4 there. Like 3 felt pretty good. Wasn't sure on the 4th, but knew that kiddo was there watching, so went for it and pretty darn okay with that being what we got on a day that feels like today.
And you might be wondering, why would you ever want powerlifting coaching from a guy who's weak as shit right now? Well, before I started this 100 plus pounds of weight loss, I've hit over 2,000 pounds raw in 3 weight classes. But that ain't what matters for coaching, because I'm taking guys from beginner to elite. I've been a part of all-time world records, and I brought countless lifters back from career-ending injuries. I know how to make you better no matter where you're at, so if you don't know what to do with your programming, technique, or what accessories to hit for your weak points, hit that link below and join the team, because I want to give you individualized coaching every single day so that you can reach your potential.
Evan put the bar away for me, and he was like, there is no way that is 20 kilos, so we're still gonna pretend though. And the one thing they don't have in here is a machine press variation, so I figure we're just gonna crank some incline dumbbell press, which is gonna be really weird because I am definitely not used to kilos on dumbbells. Like grabbing 40 thinking it's 80, then I remember that it's 88 as I was sitting down, so we're gonna have some fun here. And that was just a feeder warm-up dealing with bobber, so we'll go up. And was gonna go straight to 50s, but then I remembered that in kilo land, 40 to 50 on a dumbbell is a pretty hefty jump, so we're gonna go 45s and probably treat this guy like a little bit of a work set, so we'll dig further into the reps and effort on this sucker. Longer pauses in the last couple just so I didn't have to do as many reps. Now we're on 50, so we'll give her a decent crank. Trying to keep the quality in the bottom really high since they are a little bit lighter on the dumbbell side, so making sure nice pause, nice squeeze of the bottom, not trying to bounce them like an asshole. And that got harder a little bit faster than I wanted it to. And that's like the skinniest hand grip spacing I've ever used on a dumbbell, so I have no freaking clue how he fits his hands on them. Yeah, like, it's so skinny. There's no room. Look, I got a bruise.
Soft hands.
Yeah, frail Canadian hands. And now for the thing that I was probably the most excited for coming into the session, which is going to be some JM presses on the ELITEFTS Smith. Just running them on the floor because I don't want to drag a bench. Oh no. my plan might be foiled. I guess I could just do like a partial. That'll work. It'll work good enough. I mean, no, don't bring your bench. Don't bring your no. I got a better solution. Keelan's trying to be an asshole again, wheeling the bench over, so we're gonna get the little bit dusty box squat pad out because I think this will give me enough room to get the job done. And what do? Range of motion issue solved. Got ourselves a little bit of an incline. Actually feels like really, really nice. Trying this out as a camera angle to see if you can see what is going on, but got one plate on the soccer, which should hopefully be a warm-up. Might be a little wide on the grip, so we'll nudge her in for the next set. But the Smith is so freaking nice. And we got 2 plates on this sucker. And like with a JM press, the goal is to kind of get your grip narrow enough that we can make it pretty much just like closing elbows, opening elbows, and that is all that is going on. And I think we'll go 120 for top set. Okay, 120, and I have no clue what this bar weighs, but it looks like 120, so I'm gonna call it 120, I guess. And that'll be it. Good enough for a travel day. Confirmed that this Smith machine with the Texas power bar in it actually does weigh 20 kilos in the hand, so apparently I actually did do 120 there. And accidentally spun the tripod holder my bobber, so sorry about that. And for triceps part B, we're back over here. I guess you guys didn't see me warming up on this sucker, but we're gonna run some spud strap, long rope, push down thingamabobbers, just so we can step back a little bit and finish with some slight shoulder extension. Really try to get that long head nice and short, get a really big squeeze, and kind of incorporate the rear delts into that tricepage in a similar way that I want them to work during bench press, you know? More of this coming up, FYI. Or not more of this, but like more rear delt bench workage stuff coming shortly. For that, we're going to get on this way too fancy Sornex auto unrack incline bench robber. Not for any auto unrack type stuff, but for some dumbbell A raises for our rear delt touching slot today. And basically all I'm doing here is I'm trying to keep my shoulder blades shrugged down, and I'm going to just make an A shape with the dumbbells and really try to squeeze into the rear delts hard at the top. And the key to making this work is making sure, again, that our shoulder blades are packed down, because if we're just rolling up, we're just training traps. If we keep them packed down, make the motion come from the rear delt, it becomes so freaking rear delt gnarly. And this is one of my all-time favorites to do when I don't have a good rear delt machine option. And like I do like those rear delt dumbbell rows as well, but all of the incline benches that have room to do one of those rear delt dumbbell rows are currently occupied. So this is going to do exactly what I needed to do. Probably have to get out bigger dumbbells though, because we're doing a lot of reps and I don't want to do this many reps on my next set. Actually burned out sooner than I was expecting, so we'll still go up a little bit. Okay, 10 kilos for round number 2. I might have to start doing these more often, even though we do have like air quote better rear delt option at the realm, because like the squeeze here, just magnificent. Oh. Probably going to do one more work set there just because it does feel so good. Okay, final go here. And as far as like arm angle on these guys, basically what I'm trying to go for is the same humerus position that I'll be in the bottom of my bench press, because with that, I'm really trying to be specific to where the rear delt needs to be strong and where the rear delt needs to kind of help stabilize the shoulder and the bottom end. And we're talking about like what the rear delt's job is in the bottom of the bench is basically letting us, number one, spread into the bar hard. Number two, it's going to help keep the humerus situated in that shoulder socket so it's not getting shoved too far away from it in the bottom. And that's like got a little bit squeezier than I was anticipating, so that probably didn't come out of my mouth quite right. And spoiler alert, on the way to doing our lat stuff, we're going to be running the giant ass ELITEFTS leg press after we deadlift on Wednesday. And for that lat stuff, going to run some more of these scaptiony wide-ish grip pull downs. I was really hoping this plate loaded pull down was going to be heavier because I don't want to have to get more plates, but it's looking like we're going to have to get more plates to make it appropriate for a work set. How much weight do I have to put on the pull down?
How hard do you push it?
Well, like, how much would you put on it?
I've done 100 kilo. Or sorry, not 100 kilo. Yeah, I've done 100 kilo.
Yeah.
Sloppy reps.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
So just grab a couple 20s at least. And
yeah, at least 60.
Okay, so we'll grab a couple 20s at least. Couple of 20s it is. We'll probably need a couple more 20s, but I just want to feel it out. You know, if I'm really strict, I probably actually don't even need to grab more 20s. Just really trying to be precise with that top end. Get a little bit of shoulder ire, like trying to flare those elbows out into some nice stretch. Yeah, there we go. Don't tell Keelan I'm not going up. I'm going to be smart and raise the thigh pad up a little just so I can actually fit in the sucker for round number 2. But yeah, like if you're doing a wide grip pull down and want to make it way harder, just really try to roll those elbows out at the top and try to keep them out as best you can, and just really re-emphasize that roll, keep them out, and she is going to feel just nasty for you. And ideally, you're going to feel like a really big stretch along the whole outside of the lat, all the way down low in your rib cage, and you're going to feel that whole area that you just stretch the top contract really freaking hard as you pull. Embarrassing how weak that is, but I'm okay with it with how it felt. He is definitely judging me with how hard that got, how quickly. That's what she said. And what's funny with squats feeling better yesterday is that my obliques are actually sore as shit after squatting. So that's kind of telling me that doing more oblique stuff away from squats is probably teaching me to use them better. Also realizing this is way too freaking heavy for standing up, so that makes me feel a little bit better about my pull down, so we'll strip that off. But the point I was trying to make there is that with doing more oblique work, making my squat brace both feel better, still too heavy, we'll have to strip more off. Hopefully this is finally light enough to actually do the set, but as I was saying, since I've been doing more oblique work, squat braces felt better. Yesterday being the heaviest squat that I've taken in a long while and my obliques being sore as shit, that's kind of telling me that all the oblique work that I've been doing is letting me actually use them better to contribute to my brace. So this is something that I'm definitely going to start digging into more often, or continue digging into, since I'm already digging into it pretty darn heftily or something. I really hope that made sense because I'm not doing it at the take. And like this probably is a little bit light now that I've stripped both the 20s off the sides, but we'll just be slow, controlled, really precise in our contraction, and we'll be able to make it at least work for the desired intent here. And she's burning. Stoked. And I think with how these sessions have went since being over here, like the secret that I need to be bringing into more stuff back home is that I just need to sleep less, and when I do sleep, wear the CPAP less often, because holy freaking shit, I am so shocked with how well strength and performance is holding on right now. And like, yeah, like my baseline standard performance as of late has not been that good, which is probably making it easier to hold on to performance given the circumstances, but I can definitely not complain with how stuff is feeling. And I think the big thing, gotta sound like a broken record here again, but if you're going into a session with substandard conditions, if you are traveling, if you are jet lagged, if you are underslept, if you are underfed, it's like, yeah, we need to acknowledge that that may have an impact on performance. It probably will have an impact on performance, but then our goal is to not go into it thinking ourselves into making it worse. Our goal is to just make that impact that it has on our performance as minimal as possible. And no, that doesn't mean headbutting the bar. That doesn't mean getting super amped up. That just means being positive and just going in, trying to do the best that you can do. Because if you do the best that you can do, like that's what's going to let it be a productive session. And productive sessions are what are going to make you do better. Because it's not that this session needing to go well is what's going to make my next meet prep. It's just that this session I need to do what I need to do to continue building my way back up into the meet prep. And if I can just keep doing this, keep treating it the way that I am so freaking excited for when I am not way underslept, and I'm so excited for when I am back on more food, because when that happens, if I can keep the standards high for now, it's just going to work even better. And I don't have too much else to say. Running the seminar here tomorrow, which I guess will probably be like yesterday by the time this vlog gets out. So I am excited for that, but it will have already happened when you're watching this, so I probably won't talk about being excited for that. So I guess on that note, peace out, have a good night, and see ya in the team.